What's good, gamers? Today we will be ranking all CS2 knives since we recently pulled a pair. If you want to buy a knife in Counter-Strike 2 or pull one if you're a real fucking man, you need to consider a lot of things.
Some knives are for fucking losers and others showcase your maturity and manliness. That's why we made a list that doesn't contain mistakes, and if you disagree, you are simply wrong.
First, we have the cookery knife. I love the pull-out animations, but the only shitty part about this knife is the goofy-ass grab when you inspect it, so this knife belongs in the B tier.
Up next is the bayonet. It's an iconic and OG knife with a great pull-out, but I really don't like the ugly olive green handle. A tier.
Now we have a very controversial knife, the butterfly knife. There's a lot of hype around this knife, but to be fair, it deserves it. Everyone loves playing with this knife, and although the butterfly knife screams femboy, it still kind of deserves the S tier.
Next up is the survival knife. There's nothing good about the knife. There is too much going on, and the inspect animation is just simply ass. If you use this knife, you have negative inches and L riz. The brain rot is making me mentally handicapped. D tier.
Next is the paracord knife, which is as bad as the survival knife, also D tier. Just has too much going on. But before continuing the tier list, please leave a like and subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot, and
Okay, let's do this. Now let's get a bit more Now let's get a bit more positive. The classic knife is really good, except for the fucking annoying ass tap. That's why it belongs in B tier.
Next is the Falcon knife, which is very underrated. The stab and inspect animations are just perfect. That's why we'll put it in the bottom of S tier.
Following the Falcon knife, we have the flip knife, which is kind of the worst version of the Falcon. I like the handle, but I hate the curve and the teeth on this knife. It looks like a fucking sword sharp, okay? Let's get this bad boy in C tier.
Coming up next is the gut knife. It's just not good. It looks aight, and the pullout is kinda cool, but the handle just ruins it and makes it look like a fucking kitchen knife. It had a lot of potential. E tier.
Next is the Navaja knife. F tier.
Following the worst knife in the game is the best knife in the game, the Karambit. It's overall clean and doesn't lack anything. Playing with this knife is better than playing with your millimeter defeater. This is a deserved S tier.
Up next is the M9 Bayo, which is also a great knife. This is basically a buffed version of the normal bayonet, also S tier.
Following, we have the Nomad knife. Great rare pullout animation and clean inspect. It's a good knife that I will probably be owning one day, but I'm also schizophrenic, so take that as you wish. A tier.
Next we have the which are actually good. I enjoy spamming F and R with these to make them spin, and all animations are good. If you use this knife, you appreciate the underdog. C tier.
Next is the skeleton knife, with some freaky animations and a unique rare pullout. If you love playing with your fingers, you'll love this knife. A tier.
Up next is the stiletto knife, and my god is this knife amazing. The opening click is orgasm inducing, and the great animation The great animations make this mafia boss knife amazing. This knife is really underrated, but it shows that you are a man of culture. S tier.
Next, we have the Bowie knife. The Bowie reminds me of a heavy metal rock star. Either you like the Bowie or you simply don't. And personally, I love the stab animation and the heavy feel of this knife. A tier.
Coming up next is the Huntsman knife, which is above average. It's kind of boring, and my favorite thing about it is the knife inspect. That's why it belongs in B tier.
Next is the Ursus knife. This knife looks like a fucking box cutter and the handle is really ugly. D tier.
Last but not least, we have the Talon. This is a budget Karambit. I like the ivory handle, but the blade is just really ugly. Honestly, the animations save this knife. B tier. That is our CS2 knife tier list, everyone. Make sure you like, subscribe, smash that notification bell to see more epic gamer, cool and manly gamer content.